This is only the beginning of the end for P. Diddy. Kesha would not be waking up feeling like him anymore. Heck, I and many others wish that we didn't wake up to see the assault of Cassandra Ventura on all of our computer screens, TV screens, or whatever device that you have. We also wish we didn't watch that video where the Diddles decided to press record, read some lines, and most likely was acting as if it was playing a bit part in his then music video called I Am Missing You with Faith Evans. Many called it an apology, but pressing record and reading lines from a screen is what I remember, and I can only tell you what I saw. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I go by the name of Dr. Heinz Emerton, and we do nothing but investigate cases over here and do a lot of deep dives, and this is one of them. We deliver nothing but the source, so go ahead and pour ketchup all over that like button. I hear that is pretty appetizing to the YouTube algorithm monster, who is determined to bury me if we do not do as it commands. But enough about me. The only person I want to see 6 foot under is the man that has been treating Cassandra Ventura as if she is less than human. We all wish we didn't see that videotape of Cassie getting pummeled by her ex-husband on the 5th of March 2016. I am prepared to wager that if you filed a lawsuit against CNN arguing a lack of consent to witness such an heinous act, you might actually win. Not only did this poor woman try to escape this man's abuse that has been happening since 2011 per the filing that she made, having been subjected to what the diddler calls as freak-offs, where she was forced to have sex with sex workers, and as we see in that video, he was chasing her down as if she owed him reparations for saying no to doing something that he wanted to do, or I don't know. What's worse is that just a few years ago in 2019, when she announced her engagement to her now husband, Alex Fine, the diddler went onto the Instagram post to wish them both nothing but love and happiness, and went on to make cryptic posts on his own Instagram. Words cannot begin to describe how Cassie must have even been feeling seeing all of this, knowing what she was subjected to in the relationship with P. Diddy. How angry Alex must have been, because chances are he must have known most, if not all, of what has happened to this poor woman based on the heinous acts perpetrated on her by the diddler, including the events of 2016. What's even more mind-warping in that scenario is that it's even more likely that he did not even see the video or anything like that until we all saw it. After all, it was widely reported that the video was obtained during the raid of Sean Diddy Combs' house. At least we now know what was possibly going through Diddy's mind when he was pacing back and forth. I said it back then and I'll say it again. This is the face of a man who saw his chickens come home to roost. And this looks like the face of a man who had no other choice but to turn on the camera and say the words that he said.
I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
These words were just god-awful and just plain bad. It was as bad as his son's subpar diss track aimed at 50 Cent called Pick a Side. This track was so bad that it made me appreciate the artistry of The Heart Part 6, and I thought nothing could be worse than that, but here we are. In this track, President Combs attempts to rap saying, knock them walls down like when them Fetty boys ran in both of our cribs. Too bad they ain't know we bought the one next door, cause that's the one. Honestly, what did President Combs actually think he was going to achieve by actually writing this down, analyzing it, recording it, putting it into a final piece of work, and releasing it? What did he actually think this was going to do? Remember when the diddler not only denied the allegations made by Cassie, where he ended up settling a mere 24 hours after? I mean, it's probably even less, probably 15, 16 hours, who knows? But after this, he allegedly, and I must stress this, allegedly instructed his lawyer to put out this statement, which reads, "For the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Miss Ventura's persistent demand of 30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Ms. Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday." He went on to echo the words of his lawyer, Ben Brafman, purporting that these were lies and a money grab in his now obituary titled "Enough is Enough." Written on the 6th of December 2023, he went on to recount events that basically ended his being, saying, "Let me be absolutely clear, I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." I think we can add this dying declaration to his upcoming funeral and memorial service, where I'm pretty sure that the attendees are only showing up to blow up the casket and ensure that he's truly dead. I mean, come on. How can somebody lie like this, knowing that there was an existence of the videotape that we all just witnessed? A video that was obtained at his residence when this raid had actually occurred. Let that sink in for a moment. A video that he obtained through the means of bribery, allegedly, according to the lawsuit that he has kept at his residence. The same residence that was raided. And now we see the videotape for ourselves. How can somebody lie like this? After his residence was raided by the FBI, he released a post on Instagram where he gave kind of a throwback to Bad Boys for Life. And as you can see, he was clearly implying that they found nothing at his residence. Again, what's worse, it's still up. Again, if we go back to the video that he released recently, these are just mere words to a camera where he decided to press record and regurgitate it to us. But I do accept, recollections may vary. In the midst of that video release, the LA District Attorney's Office put out a statement detailing that they cannot pursue assault charges due to the statute of limitations expiring. Of course, everyone was aggrieved by this news, and quite understandably so. I mean, everything that we watched was gruesome and vile. But friends, like I said in the beginning of this particular video, this is only the beginning and the end of Diddy. It was not clickbait. I tell no lies. 50 Cent was, in my opinion, right when he posted on his Instagram saying, "This is why they put that tape out. They know they can't charge him with what we saw, but they know we can't unsee what we saw." Because now all the attention is turning back to that lawsuit that has been filed by Cassandra Ventura, which is basically a treasure trove for the prosecution. With the video corroborating everything that Cassie had claimed for that particular incident. Some may even argue that the detailing of the specific parts that the video covered or corroborated, that it was even downplayed. One may even argue that, has Cassie even seen this video? Because she has said in the filing that the video was paid off for and bribed to by the security guy for $50,000 by Diddy. So has she seen the video? I don't know. I don't really think so, because I just think she knew the existence of the dealings that went on. Because again, you can even argue that she really minimized a lot of the actions that we saw in that particular videotape. There also could be a much darker layer attached to this story. You see, for some of the claims which Cassie made in her filing, where she asserted that she was forced to sleep with sex workers in free cuffs, as Prisoner Diddy would like to call it. And though the state of California passed a new bill in 2017 called the Justice for Victims Act that effectively made the statute of limitations for sex crimes be without limit under Penal Code 799. This applies to Penal Code 261, which is 262, which is spousal, 264, which is concert, or colloquially known as gang. The bill wouldn't have made a difference for this violation because it did not apply for Penal Code 236.1, which is human trafficking. So the old 10-year statute of limitations applies, and unfortunately this ran out in 2023. I can only imagine how she felt when she finally decided to work up the courage to go to the police and detail these acts to them, only to be met with the statute of limitations had run out. This is why I speculate that it's probably in the summertime, because they may have advised her that her only option is to pursue the case civilly due to the whole changes with the law, and most likely that's what she did, and we have the lawsuit that was subsequently filed on November 16th. However, there is hope. It is 2024 after all, the year of our Lord. With the statute of limitations, there is a clause or an exception. Actually, to be quite fair, I actually don't know the proper legal term for that, but it details that crimes that carry a life sentence do not have any particular limitation on it, and it can be tried at any time. Cassie made me a believer, so I'm gonna try to make you a believer. I know, I'm sorry, I heard it, I'm sorry. The claims made by Cassie regarding being forced into sexual acts with sex workers, as detailed in our lawsuit, does meet the definition of human trafficking according to Penal Code 236.1, which is the forcible coercion of an individual to perform sexual acts with another individual without their consent, of course. Unfortunately, though, as mentioned before, trafficking only carries a 10-year statute of limitations. Because remember Danny Masterson, he was charged with 3 counts of and was subsequently sentenced to 30 years in prison, which is basically life imprisonment, for crimes that occurred in 2001 and 2004. This is way before the Justice for Victims Act was enacted and brought in 2017. So why does that apply to trafficking? This is trafficking. The point is, according to Penal Code 236.1, the maximum sentence for human trafficking is 12 years imprisonment. It's only 8. Masterson has no prior offenses. Diddy has no prior offenses, which I know is hard to fathom based on what we all just saw. But here we are. Both crimes happened after the statute of limitations bill was brought in 2017. This bill was not retroactive, meaning that these crimes had to be used with the exception that I basically brought out before, that there was a prospect that they could get a life, at least in my opinion. I don't know how the DA does all these things, but at least in my opinion, there was a prospect that they could at least get a life imprisonment for Danny Masterson. Of course, I must disclaim, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how the DA stacked up all these charges for Danny Masterson to even give him the prospect of facing 45 years in prison, as it was first reported by Court TV. But the fact of the matter is, he did receive a 30-year prison sentence. The point I'm trying to make is, if we add the trafficking claim by Cassie alongside the 2018 rape allegation that Cassie made in her filing, I believe on paragraphs 130 to 138, where it basically reads that after their dinner, Mr. Combs and Ms. Ventura returned to Ms. Ventura's home. Then Mr. Combs forced himself into her apartment and tried to kiss Ms. Ventura. She told him to stop and attempted to push him away. Mr. Combs then forcibly pulled Ms. Ventura's clothing and unbuckled his belt. He proceeded to rape Ms. Ventura while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. After seeing that videotape, I am more inclined to call this an attestation rather than an allegation, because let's just be frank. Let's put this all into perspective. She got married in 2019 to Alex Fine. This happened supposedly on September 2018. How on earth does anyone has the audacity to go onto that person's Instagram profile to basically say congratulations to both of Cassie and Alex on their engagement? To not only say this, but have people saying, Diddy, you're the real one for this, blah, 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 blah. What's worse is, despite all of this coming out, it's still up. Sometimes it's just perfectly fine to hate someone. I hate the way that Diddy talks. I hate the way that he walks. I hate the way that he dresses. I hate everything about this man. And I admire the bravery of Cassie to actually bring this forward and bring this to light, because we don't know the cascading of events that's going to happen. We know under the statute of limitations, even with the old and the new one, this claim is more than safe. So it's really, the ball is in the DA's court now. It's really up to them to bring the cases and stack him up and hold Diddy accountable for everything that he's done. We've seen enough corroboration based on what we've seen on the videotapes. Yes, take every case by case, take everything case by case, but you cannot, in good faith, in good conscience, say that there is not an element to truth to what these other people are alleging in light of this videotape. Could it be opportunistic? I don't know, but I'm more inclined to just think that this guy really is a scumbag, as people have been saying that he is in the whole hip-hop industry. I'm gonna bring this to a close. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, I really do appreciate you. It does go a long way that you have taken the time to watch what I've had to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed this content in any way, consider becoming a member of the Heinz Hall, where you'll receive exclusive Ketchup Man videos as well as additional perks for your membership. I just want to give a quick shout out to all the members that we have so far. Yelly Bean, shout you out. Random Girl and Cat Not Williams, shout out to you guys for all of your contributions so far. Hit that subscribe button and the bell notification button, and YouTube will do the rest in notifying you whenever we go live or we upload a new video. Make sure you also check out our sister channel at Ketchup Court, where also known as the Unintentional Juror, where we do trial watch as well as go through the filings that you have just seen here on this video. We go through it in detail and break it down over there. Well, now that's enough of the plugs. I am off to do nothing more than hate on Prisoner Diddy. It's practically the Lord's work at this point. I hate this guy with a burning passion. He really isn't anything like us. Peace and ketchup. Take care.